Alright guys, let's just wait for another 3 to 4 minutes because I guess a few more guys are supposed to join. Let's just wait for like 5 to 6 minutes and let's get started then. Yeah. Okay, so let's get started. My name is and I'm your trainer for this particular course, and let's get started. Uh, So yeah, before we jump into any of these, let's have a small round of introduction. So if you could just let me know what you work on, what's your experience with Hadoop, and what are your expectations from this course, then it will help me improvise better when it comes to taking up the course. So yeah, all you could just tell me is like what you work on, what's your experience with Hadoop, and uh, and what are your expectations from the course. So let's get started. Let's start with ABC. So if you could introduce yourself. Hello, Mr. Jalan. Yeah. Right. So in case your mic has a problem and you're not able to introduce yourself, please put it on chat and I'll introduce you to the group. So let's move to Aruna. Hi Aruna, if you could just introduce yourself. Hello. Hello Aruna, can you hear me? Okay. Are you guys okay? Can I have a quick confirmation? Is everybody able to hear me clearly? Because I guess Raj, you've conveyed you're not able to hear me. Hello. Yeah. Can I have a quick confirmation that everybody is able to hear me? Okay. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. All right. Cool. Good. Yeah, actually, I'll unmute you as your turn comes. Yeah, because then there'll be a lot of background voice. Yeah, Runa, if you could introduce yourself. Yeah. If not, Runa, you can just put it on chat and I'll introduce you to the group. Okay. Let's go to Bhani. Yeah. Hi, Bhani.
Yeah, hi, Bhanu.
So you're working on .NET, and so Bhani is working on .NET, is just new to Hadoop, and probably is looking for the beginners class of what exactly is Hadoop. Okay, welcome to the class, Bhani. Let's go to Dilip. Hi, Dilip. If you could introduce yourself. Hello. Okay, Dilip also has no mic right now. Okay. What about Kumar? Hi, Kumar. Hello. I think.
Hello.
Okay. Yeah. Hi, Kumar. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm from a SAS background, so I don't have any idea about Hadoop, so just want to get to know what Hadoop exactly it is and how can
Okay.
we use it
Okay.
and the big
Just
data
1 minute.
concept over the Hadoop.
Just 1 minute.
Yeah.
Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. All right. Yeah. So you're from SAS and you're beginner to Hadoop and yeah, sure. So welcome to the demonstration. Let's go to Pradeep. Yeah. Hi, Pradeep.
Yes, Ravi, this is Pradeep.
Okay.
I am into ERP.
Okay.
I've been in ERP sometime with development and sometime in a techno-functional guy. Okay,
Okay.
and have been into functional testing as well as technical testing. Hadoop
Okay.
is something new to me,
Okay.
so I would like to know. I was going through the material that is online. Some of your video. I don't know which side to take. Maybe that is where I stand.
Okay, sure. So yeah, welcome to the class, Pradeep, and yeah, probably by the end of this class, you will have fair idea of what we do, what is in the course, what is not in the course, and see how we can take it from there. Yeah, welcome to the class, Pradeep. So let's go to Raj.
Hey,
Yeah,
this
hi
is
Raj.
Raj, and I have 8 years of experience on BI.
Hmm.
I'm just want to know what Hadoop is and to explore more of unstructured data and data to BI.
Okay, yeah, sure. So welcome to the class, Raj, and yeah, probably by end of this class, you'll have fair idea of what we are going to teach and how this course is going to help you get to your goals. All right,
Thank
let's
you.
go to Sambhavi. Yeah, hi Sambhavi. Please go ahead. Hello. Yeah, hi Sambhavi. Please go ahead. I'm really sorry, my kid is not in a good mood today. Okay. Yeah, hi Sambhavi. So we have Srividya, her mic is not working, so yeah, you can certainly put it on chat, Srividya. I'll basically introduce you to the group. And Sambhavi, yeah, in case your mic is also not working, feel free to put it on chat and I'll introduce you to the group. Okay, Sumit, I am sending you the audio pins so you can unmute yourself. Let's go to Tariq. Hi Tariq.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good, Tariq. How about you?
Good. So educationally, I have computer science and applied mathematics background.
Okay.
And I have been working in IBM Rational products, system configuration, and basically medical device industry. A lot of devices that end up embedded in human body, like neuromodulation devices or pacemaker. So I work both on the hardware side as well as software side. I've done design and development in Python, some R programming, Java. Uh, so that's pretty much in a nutshell. The Hadoop and the big data seems like my cup of tea. I like, large amount of data and play with the numbers. So I got curious and start researching online, and hopefully maybe I'll take this avenue.
Okay. Sure. So yeah. Welcome to the class, and yeah, probably I see you've already had a lot of experience on big data as such, and yeah, probably this course will introduce you to what is Hadoop and how it works, and probably see if you could apply that to your data for your analysis. So welcome to the class, Tariq,
Thank you.
and yeah, cool, sure. Let's go to Thomas. Hi, Thomas. You are unmuted now. Yeah.
Hello,
Yeah, hi
can you hear me?
Thomas. Yeah, yes, I can hear you, Thomas.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Thomas. I have around 8 years of experience working on Java J2W applications. I'm completely new to Hadoop. Yeah, something that I heard from my friends, and I thought I would try to look at it and acquire what knowledge I can get from the session.
Okay. So yeah, welcome to the class, Thomas. Yeah. So I guess we are done with everyone. So we have Sambhavi who's new to the to Hadoop, and Kumar, you want to go through big data and Hadoop, how they're interlinked, sure. And yeah. So Srividya, she's an ETL and an Informatica developer on all these apps. All right, so welcome everyone, guys. I'll introduce myself during this course of this demonstration. Let's first start with, okay. First, let's start with the real basic question of, a lot of times most of guys would ask, I'll first answer this and what options do I have after I learn Hadoop? So I'm not really talking about learning Hadoop from me, but from anyone, it's fine. What options do you have post Hadoop? These are most common questions. I'll answer both of them. So let me first answer second question and then I'll go back to first question. And second question would answer first question. So guys, there are totally, if you see, 6 roles on a very high level available for you after you learn Hadoop. But before that, let me tell you, Hadoop alone cannot give you a high paying job. Let me be very honest. It alone cannot give you a paying job, high paying job. You need to be strong at one of the following basics. I'll cover all of them. Okay. But honestly, if anybody is joined with an intention that, okay, I'll learn Hadoop and I'll get a big break in my career, you'll have to be strong at fundamentals. Otherwise, it's honestly tough. So let's understand that. So the first role that's available, let's first talk about the roles that are available. Okay. What are prerequisites for getting a job? What you should know previously, and what will be your responsibilities if you end up getting a job. So the first and the most common role is it's Hadoop developer. The prerequisite is you should know Java. You should be at least 6 on 10 on Java, and your major responsibility will be MapReduce development. You can be Hadoop administrator if that's your background previously. You can be very well on Java, you can be 0 to 10, but on Linux you better be 6 on 10, because every interview you will only be grilled on Linux. You should know most of the Linux networking commands. You should know maybe how do I see the process utilization or RAM utilization of every process and stuff like that. How or what processes are running, all those commands you should be really having at the back of your mind. And what you would be doing is setting up Hadoop clusters. The third one is data analyst. A lot of people call it as big data analyst also. Depends on what you see. You can very well be 0 on 10 and you can be 0 on 10 here, but you really have to be good on SQL, and SQL you at least have to be 7 on 10. If you're not good at SQL, it's going to be tough, right, to become a data analyst, because you will really do a lot of crunching and you should really know how to play around with your SQL. And if you know data warehouse, ETL, then you are at a big advantage. It's a big advantage. Your job will be to basically crunch numbers and answer questions that business is asking. The fourth role is data scientist. Well, here you need to know a bit of Java. Python would be of good help because most of the libraries that you find, they support Python. Okay, you should know at least one statistical language. Can be R, SPSS, or whatever you like. You need to know at least one business domain, any one business domain of expertise, because unless you know business domain, you won't be of great value to any company. Hypothetically, let's say you know insurance, you know finances, or you may be a media guy. Depends, that's fine. And along with that, what you need to know is you should be good at statistics. And what your responsibilities will be, honestly, it's a blue sky. Okay, no one knows what to do with data, and you will be seen as the guy who can provide some amazing insights. But there is no defined job for you that, okay, as a data scientist, this is what you will do. Okay, that's the idea. Okay, so let me just put this here and say stats. Okay, so this is the role number 4th. Let's talk about role number 5th. Now people would call it as Hadoop architect, and in Europe normally the roles would be big data architect. Now these are actually two different roles. You'll have to look at the description. This can either be a Java enterprise Java architect plus Hadoop. You'll have to look at the description, or you are already a BI architect and you learn Hadoop. Here you know what you should be knowing Java. I mean, that's a no-brainer, but what your responsibility will be is to define technology stack and solutioning. In services world we call it solutioning. As a BI architect, you would be doing data modeling on a petabyte scale of data. So these are 6 roles that are available for you. That's first. But now the question is, so I hope this has answered your question of whether do I need to know Java or not. I've already answered that in this. What does this course prepares me for? Now, if you really see, this course could help you becoming a Hadoop developer, Hadoop administrator, and data analyst. This course does not prepare you to be a data scientist. This is not a data scientist class. So let me be very honest about it upfront that this does not cover any of machine learning techniques like Mahout and all that stuff. Yes, after this course there will be magic that suddenly you become a Hadoop architect, because for being an architect, it's a mindset more than just learning something. It's a mindset you become over the period of time. Okay, so this is what this course will teach you. Okay, so any questions before I move ahead and tell you what we will be covering? Feel free to just let me know. Yeah. So hope this tells you what roles are available for you and where you are heading to, what paths you have. And I hope one thing is clear that just learning Hadoop won't get you to the next level. Your background has to be strong in one of the things. Either be good at SQL, Linux, or Java, and from there the course of action would be. Can we have a copy of the screen? Of course, after the session you will be getting the recording of this session, as well as you will get the session notes. Okay, you'll be getting that. That's not a problem. Yeah. All right, guys. So now let's look at what does this course really have for you. So this is our Hadoop 0 to 100 course where we cover all the three aspects: development, BI, and administration. End of this course, you would be, you can pursue one of the areas and be a master at that. That's one. But it gives you complete picture of how Hadoop is used in enterprise and what different teams do there. Okay. So it's a entire course where 40 hours is classroom, 20 hours is hands-on. It's a 60-hour course, but 20 hours is at home. So necessarily class will be 40 hours. So in first 20 hours, what we get into is we talk about what exactly is big data. We'll talk about what exactly is Hadoop. We'll talk about the Hadoop ecosystem. We'll have hands-on on Hadoop. So you'll set up Hadoop on a single node cluster. I'll be providing you this CentOS based virtual machine, and you will be doing all your practice on this. Okay. After that, we move to multi-node setup. So we'll buy few machines on Amazon and we'll do a multi-node setup on Amazon. Then we move into Hadoop development. So around 16 hours, we are only going to talk about Hadoop development. There'll be a lot of hands-on exercises and stuff. Then you talk about Hadoop business intelligence. So if you're a BI guy, we will be talking about Pig, Hive, how to use Hadoop with ETL tool like Pentaho. And the last thing is Hadoop BI. It's Hadoop admin basically. Oops, there's a mistake. So here what we do is we talk about scheduling, monitoring, cluster maintenance, and then we have an entire hands-on and evaluation. A bit about myself. My name is Ravi, and around 9 years into IT. Couple of years I've been doing corporate trainings and trainings on Hadoop. I'm Cloudera certified Hadoop administrator, Cloudera certified Hadoop developer, Cloudera certified HBase specialist, and MapR certified M5 administrator. And earlier in my career, I was certified on Java and PHP. All right, so that is about the course. Okay. Yeah, Kumar, I'll cover that. Please don't worry. All right, so now let's quickly have a sneak peek of the beginning of this course, and probably Kumar has one question which we'll answer it. Okay, or let me just first take up the question. The question is, so if you really on a high level see, okay, RDBMS is a domain, relational databases is a domain, Oracle and MySQL are products. Okay. Programming language this is a domain, and Java and .NET and PHP and Python and so on, these are these are the languages or the products on top of what programming language is. If you talk about office productivity, you're talking about Excel, PowerPoint, and Word. Similarly, when you talk about data analysis on petabyte of data or big data or big data analysis, that's a domain. The domain is how to handle petabytes of data, and Hadoop happens to be one of the product. All right. So does that answer your question, Kumar? Okay, let's talk about certifications. Okay, so you have a question on certifications. I'll take that up. Certifications, there are two certifications, developer, administrator, and this course will prepare you for both of them. Let me quickly just show you something that one of my students has taken a certification just yesterday, and let's just see that. So it's taken So yesterday one of my student has taken a developer certification and it's cleared it. Alright, so now let's look at a small sneak peek of this course and we will then open up for questions and or we can call it a day. Yeah. Alright guys, so this is phase 1 of the course where we talk about Hadoop and Hadoop ecosystem. So we'll start with an introduction. We'll talk about what exactly is big data. We'll talk about what is Hadoop. We'll talk about Hadoop ecosystem, HDFS and MapReduce deeper dive, and questions. So the phase 1 of this course, my objective with you guys would be to introduce you to big data, introduce you to Hadoop, explain how Hadoop works in real world, get friendly with HDFS and MapReduce, get aware of the Hadoop ecosystem, and understand how Hadoop is used in real world. I've already introduced myself, so that's fine. Let's talk about what exactly is big data. So basically we understand what is the intention of this phase 1. Let's talk about what exactly is big data. Now, before we get into big data, let's talk about why it deserves your attention. Why is it that we all have gathered here and we are talking about big data? As per IDC, big data market would be $24 billion by 2016. So in around 2 years from now, we are looking at a $24 billion market. Big data would create 4.4 million new jobs by 2015. And let's not talk of 2 years and 3 years. As of this very moment, United States alone is facing a shortage of 200,000 big data professionals. So whether you are a startup looking for the next big idea, whether you're a professional looking for the next big thing in your career, big data has something for each and every one. Okay, so what exactly is big data? In the most simplistic terms, big data is any amount of data that is beyond the storage and processing capabilities of a single physical machine. Now let's say realistically, let's say your company can buy all the hardware and expensive machines, but still there is a limitation to how much hardware can be stuffed on a single physical machine. There is a limitation to how much RAM you can put, and there is a limitation to how much disk space you can have on a single physical machine. So big data starts where one machine typically gives up. When one machine says, I cannot handle your data, that's where you know that you're moving towards big data. So basically the first dimension of big data is volume. Okay, so data that has extra large volume is the first qualification typically for big data. Now there are two more dimensions to big data, second one being variety and third one being velocity. So we've always visualized data in terms of rows and columns. But what big data talks about is that data can be in any form. Data can be in any form. And typically when you talk about big data implementations, when you listen to your customers talking about it, they're always talking about great velocity also. Basically data is coming to you at a really, really great speed. That's velocity. So these are three dimensions of big data: volume, variety, and velocity. For data to be referred as big data, generally the volume of the data has to be massive. Variety, for data to be referred as big data, generally the data would be semi-structured and may originate from variety of sources. So basically data can come from anywhere and in any format. It can be a JSON, XML, log file, it can just be anything. You're supposed to analyze that to basically, beat the competition maybe. Velocity, for data to be referred as big data, the rate at which data comes into your system is really, really fast. The best example is Facebook. The number of comments, likes, photos that you have every hour is massive. So it's like a massive, freeway where vehicles are just coming into your system. All right. So quickly visualizing it, you have a fantastic physical server, but the amount of data it can process, or you have a massive physical server, but the amount of data it has to process is much bigger than that. That's volume. Data coming into a system at great speed is velocity, and data coming from all over the place is variety. So this is big data. Now, over the period of time, a few of my students have had some great questions, and I've just basically used those questions to paint the complete picture of big data. So the first question that typically comes to the mind is, okay, looks like big data is clear, that's fine, but how does data look like? Can I see something and say, okay, this is big data? Well, There's no defined set as to, this is how big data looks. It can look anything like an RFID sensor file, RFID systems file, web log, user interaction log, transaction, tweets, climate sensor data. Any data that falls into this 3 V's is typically big data. What do I do with this data? So it's fine, I have a lot of data. What do I do with this? Analyze it. But the tough question is, why should I analyze it? So in this training, you're asking me to invest $500,000 in a new data center, new hardware, and invest in analyzing data that is not really structured, analyze data that is not really directly money to my company. Why should I spend $500,000 to invest and analyze data that is not really money to my company in the direct sense? Why should I do it? Well, it's in this huge heap of data, the golden nuggets of information stay. Analyzing this data can give your business an edge over other competitors. Let's take two good examples here. To a lot of us, Amazon is just an e-commerce site, but what they really do is they analyze your data to perfection. Every click you make, they analyze it to perfection, and that's why they're able to give you amazing recommendation engine. So out of 100 people who bought Samsung Galaxy S5, 80% of people bought a flip cover. Now the system analyzes that and builds a recommendation and tries to predict the behavior of 81st customer or 101st customer, and as soon as the new customer comes, he sees, oh, people who bought a Samsung phone most probably bought the flip cover, and a lot of times we end up buying it. You have a 1-year-old baby boy, you buy diapers for him, and Amazon figures out you are a parent, and then you suddenly see all the recommendations are around products that are related to parenthood. And most often you end up purchasing stuff that you never thought existed at first place, and that's how Amazon makes a lot of dollars. Their recommendation engine is one of the best in the industry, and that's why it's very tough to beat them. Second example is Apple Siri versus Google Now. So Apple Siri is a voice assistant on iOS, and Google Now is voice assistant for what you call Android, and now Google Now is also available on iOS. Now Apple Siri takes commands from you, and it has a specific database where it queries and gets you the output. Whereas Google Now, it has a database where it can query and answer, but at the same time Google has the power of web search. Now Google has more data in its hand, and it does a better job of analyzing it. And you do any test possible, you would always see Google Now is more accurate than Apple Siri. And 2012 Google Now was innovation of the year, and Apple Siri still, you will find a lot of jokes on YouTube. This is still not very stable or still not very accurate when it comes to let's say Google Now. So the idea is really that if you have all the data and if you can perfectly analyze it, you are just way ahead of the competition. Okay, can we have some use cases of analyzing big data? We've just seen a couple of them. Few more: identifying customers who are most important, identifying the best time to perform maintenance, and so on and so forth. How can such huge data be analyzed? So that's fine, I mean, it's a lot of data, but how can you analyze such a big data? Well, as the volume is beyond processing and storage ability of a single physical machine, some distributed way would have to be used. Wait. So we are talking about distributed systems. Distributed systems like MPI, MPP have been around for more than a decade. So do we even need to see this presentation further? And you're teaching something that's like 15 years old, and does the world really need another distributed system? Okay, does the world really need another distributed system? The answer is yes. The world certainly needs another distributed system, because typical distributed systems work like this. So what you had is, you had your storage area network where you would store 50 terabytes of data maybe. You would have 50 app servers, and on each app server you would deploy a Java code, let's say, and each app server would read 1 terabyte of data, process it. So programs ran on each app server, all data is on SAN. Before execution, each server gets data from SAN, and after execution, each server writes output to SAN. This was fantastic and has been around for 15 years. But this had certain glitches. First, there was massive dependency on network and huge bandwidth demands. So the bandwidth demand of this system was amazingly huge, because you have 50 terabytes of data on SAN, and you are now reading that across the network to to all the app servers, which is like crazy. Scaling up and scaling down was not a smooth process. You were my best Java programmer. If I was to tell you to write a program for 20 machines, can I directly scale up to 2,000 machines without changing the code? Well, it was not always possible. Partial failures were difficult to handle. So if you have 50 machines, machine number 43 goes down. Just a minute. Machine number 43 goes down and we are done. So as a developer, we had to take care of this. A lot of processing power was spent on transporting data, and data synchronization was required during exchange. These were 5 major problems with the old distributed system, and that is where world needed a new distributed system, and that is where Mr. Hadoop comes into picture. Hadoop is nothing but a distributed system at its heart, which is trying to solve these 5 problems for you. Hadoop is nothing but a distributed system that will solve these 5 problems for you. So that is about it, and that's kind of a small sneak peek of this course, and I'll open up for questions, guys. So any questions you have, feel free to let me know. Yeah, guys, go ahead. Please go ahead with the question. So we have a question from Thomas which says, what is the advantage of moving from Java J2E? Well, basically better roles, more challenging work, and needless to say, all right. But yeah, this is something new, and we all basically, I mean, you know, I'm not trying to generalize, but yeah, every engineer in its own right would love to work on something that's latest, something that's the industry talking about. So something that's really hot, okay? Not only from the perspective of, let's say, pay, but we all want to stay upgraded with the market. So right now, this is what is hot in the market. So that is one advantage. You can still stick to J2E and not move to this fair. But yeah, you would always have a feeling that, yeah, I mean, something is really hot and happening and you are not part of that revolution. That is the only thing. So we have, yeah, Aruna, I'll just take up your question also. So yeah, there will be no other instructor for any other topic. So yeah, Tariq, if I'm not good at something, you still have to live with that. Okay, so I think that the technology from Teradata is called as Terracotta. Okay. Now they work differently, but they can take a lot of data, but they work differently. So they are not working on the same principles as Hadoop, but they can help you with, you know, analyzing big data. So yeah, so Yeah, Kumar, so that's part of the course. So tell me about pig. So let me on a high level tell you. You have data or you have big data till let's say 4 years before or 5 years before. To analyze that you would have to write MapReduce. Yes, you can do it in Java and other languages. But then somebody came up with that let me just put it this way. So you write your code in pig and that pig would get converted to MapReduce and then that will be analyzing your big data. So pig is a higher level abstraction for MapReduce. Got it? Okay. Okay. Seems there are a lot of questions. Yeah, Tariq, I'll just take your question in a minute. What are tools that come with Hadoop? Okay, there are ecosystem projects are Pig, Hive, HBase, Scoop, Flume, and Uzi. All 6 will be covered here in the course. Okay, so we'll talk about all of these. What if when does the course start and what if I miss a session? So Satish will communicate the dates and logistics. So Satish, if you could just email Thomas about that, that will be really great. So yeah, Satish would be in a better position to give you the dates, timings and everything. Okay, so what is the scope of data analyst? Honestly, you should be good at SQL, a bit of ETL, data warehouse, if you want to, want to have a shining career, and then learn Hadoop. When I say Hadoop, it's a pig and Hive also, and then you become a data analyst. Now the point is, how much does this course help you? The course will teach you pig and Hive in detail. That's what this course will help you. The course is not going to teach SQL, ETL, data warehouse, data modeling, none of them. So if you really want to get those also for, let's say, DW and stuff, we have a demigod called Ralph Kimball, and you might want to read his books on data warehousing. He is the best. He's just the best. So if you want to really be a data analyst, and if you are only good at SQL but not good at ETL and data warehouse, I would probably recommend you to take up this course for Pig and Hive. But when it comes to data warehouse and other stuff, Ralph Kimball is the man to go to. So basically his books are industry standard in its own right. Okay. So we have another question. So what platform is more in demand, Cloud and Hortonworks? Tough choice. It's all Pepsi and Coke. Okay. Having said that, if you really see, the wrappers are different chocolate is the same. Okay, so in the course I'll give you more details on all the same and different stuff in this, but overall if you see they are just the same. It doesn't really matter. For Hadoop, not really, but yes, if you were to be a data scientist, Python can reduce a lot of work because you may find a lot of ready-made stuff on Python. Hadoop not much. Hadoop again higher. Again, it's very tough to say, but for Hadoop developer, see, let's understand this, guys. First, let me clear one thing. All these prerequisites are for getting a maybe a high paying job or whatever goals people have. I'm not only focused on paying but high paying job or career change. Okay. For taking this course, there are 0 prerequisites. All prerequisite knowledge will be provided. All right. So again, Hadoop developer, Tariq, if I was to really say this, very honestly, it will all depend on your Java skills and how well you can crack algos like sorting and how well you know basics like collections and generics and so on. So if you're very good at, so let's assume, let's say today at this moment you are 7 on 10 on core Java. To be a Hadoop developer, it's a 1 week affair. Provided you are good at Java, it's a 1 week affair. Okay, let's put it this way. Again, for data scientist, as I said, that you will have to evaluate what is your background in terms of how well you are at stats, how well you are at, let's say R. I guess you are working on R. How well you do scripting, and how well, let's say, you understand big data. So let me tell you what is a data scientist. So I hope that kind of answers you. Data scientist is a better developer than a statistician, and data scientist is a better statistician than a normal developer. Okay. So Pradeep, I hope that answers your question. Okay. Okay. Just a minute. So we have another question. Okay. Are there any for developer? All right. Okay. So in future it may come, but as of now it's nothing. All right. So hope all the questions are answered. So as far as prerequisite or my expectations from you are concerned, guys, I don't have, you don't need to have any prerequisite for taking up this course. It's perfect because whatever is required for that particular topic, I'll certainly teach you. But I'm not going to, be able to make you a Java guru. But yeah, whatever is required in Java to understand the concept, that I'll tell you. All right. So cool, guys. So I'll pass on these notes to Satish, and he'll be giving it to you. And I'll pass on the recording also so that you can have it. All right, guys. Yeah. Okay, guys. Then that's it on my side. So you guys take care, have fun, and hopefully see you at the class. Okay, guys. Take care. Yeah. See you guys. Yeah.